How's it going, family? Welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to talk to you today about Saitama and why I believe Saitama can very well reach that coveted price point of $1. Yes, you heard it right. $1, I believe, is in the future, the near future, may I add, for the Saitama community. Let's talk about that and why I believe that's the case. Before we can do that, though, we must understand we have to lay the platform for why. We have to draw comparisons between Saitama and another similar project called Shiba Inu. It's important to understand that both projects share similar utilities in nature. Let's take a look at the Saitama website for starters. So Saitama has listed that they're going to come out with the Saita Swap, edutainment, which is basically going to serve as a platform to educate individuals on crypto, how to trade crypto, other things such as being able to learn technical analysis around crypto, and so on and so forth. They're going to come out with Saita Pay, which has already been released. And might I add, Saita Swap is already released as well. I failed to mention that at the beginning. Saita Realty, that's been released. With Caster Games, which is going to be the play to earn game, and Fang, which is the NFT marketplace. Now, two things that are not listed on this here are the blockchain and the metaverse. As we know, if you've been following along with the Saitama project since the version 1 over to the version 2 migration, you'll know that those are two things that are also in the works behind the scenes for the Saitama project. Now, if we take a look at the Shiba Inu website, we can see that their ecosystem just consists of a bunch of tokens such as Leash, such as Bone, and then a new token which is going to be called Shi, which is going to serve as their stable token, their stable coin. All right. And Shiba Inu, of course, is the main token for the ecosystem. Now, this is where we draw some comparisons. Shiba Inu has their Shiba Swap that was released back in 2021 around July 4th, Independence Day. And we know that Saitama recently released their Saita Swap several weeks ago as well. They essentially do the same thing. They essentially allow you to stake. They essentially allow you to perform swaps of your crypto. In a nutshell, that's what the swaps are. So basically, they're similar in nature. Now, with the edutainment, Saitama has that is unique to Saitama. As far as I know, Shiba Inu does not have anything to educate users on crypto. As we move forward to look at the Saita Pay, Saitama, that is unique to Saitama in terms of having the ability for users to purchase crypto using their debit and credit cards. And why is this unique, you might ask? Well, I'm saying it's unique because, first of all, Shiba Inu does not even have a mobile app. Let that sink in. As it stands now, the only working utility that is out there is the Shiba Swap. Yes, Shiba Inu came out with the metaverse ability, the ability for users to purchase plots of land in the metaverse, but the metaverse has not been released in itself as a workable product. We know it's coming, right? So we've seen a demo, we've seen those things, we know it's coming. We know that the play to earn game for Shiba Inu is coming as well. It's called Shiba Eternity. However, we have not seen anything for Wolfcaster Games in terms of a workable demo for users to test out. However, we have to trust in the devs to know that these utilities that are listed are on the way. And the reason I say that is because they've delivered on the other things that they promised to this point. It's taken a while, yes, but guess what? They have finally started to deliver on their promises. Now, what I want us to do is take a look at this. Let's go over to CoinMarketCap. As we go over to CoinMarketCap, I wanted to show you and make this point to you as far as the utilities being released and how the pricing action followed suit. So if we look at July 4th, because that was the date around that time where the Shiba Swap was released, which was the original first utility for the SHIB project. Okay. Now we can see that the SHIB project basically stayed steady. The pricing action traded sideways all the way from July as we moved through August, all the way through September. And we didn't see that initial pump until we got into the mid part of October. And then we pumped up massively from there at the all-time high, which occurred on October 26th, which is where Shiba Inu nearly lost 2 zeros from the release of the Shiba Swap. Now, with that being said, Saitama has released their Saita Swap several weeks ago. Don't you expect Saitama to follow suit with the same pricing action? The only difference is Saitama released that utility in a bear market. We were not in a bear market at the time that Shiba Swap came out back in July. In fact, we were in a raging bull market at that point. The best bull market that has ever been seen up until that point in the history of crypto, might I add. So there were some circumstances that were in play that we just don't have at this point in time. Hence is why the pricing action for Saitama is essentially trading sideways. Now, don't you think that if Shiba Inu was able to kill almost 2 zeros with just the release of one utility, which was the Shiba swap, what do you think is going to happen when the bull market returns for the Saitama project? We will probably kill some zeros. Maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. And guess what? We don't have 3 zeros to kill because we just have 0.2 zeros in a number. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some more information to make the case. One of the things I want to point out to you is the max total supply of the Shiba Inu token. If you look over here on Etherscan, we can see that the max total supply with the Shiba Inu contract is 999 trillion with a T, 991,000 or 1,208. Well, let me say this because I'm saying this completely wrong. So we're looking at this. Actually, let's see, 1,000 million being trillion. So I was right. 999 trillion. Let's just call it that. 999 trillion max total supply. Whereas Saitama, the V1, we're going to look at V1 first. It had 100 quadrillion as the max total supply. So if we were to keep things there, we could argue and say, well, wait a minute. Saitama has a heck of a lot more max total supply than the SHIB token. But it doesn't stop there. It gets better. This is the reason, folks, why we migrated to version 2. Because with version 2, we cut that max total supply by a lot. Now, we only have a max total supply that sits at 99 billion with a B. So if we just compare the max total supply just on its own between the two projects, Saitama and SHIB, we can see there are vast differences. 99 billion max total supply for Saitama V2 compared to 999 trillion max total supply. And here's where things get even more interesting. If we go down to the dead wallet, we can see that only about 41% of this has been burned. And that sits in the dead wallet. 41% of 999 trillion versus Saitama V2 has a total of 55% in the dead wallet burned of a much smaller total max supply of tokens, which is 99 billion. Now, why does max total supply matter? Let's talk about it. The reason why the total supply of a cryptocurrency matters is because that amount drives the overall price point of the project, of the token. So what I'm saying is that is evident by comparing just the price points that the tokens sit at now. Shiba Inu sits at 0.4014. Saitama sits at 0.0021. So that's only 2 zeros behind the decimal. So just in its very nature, one would argue that it's so much easier for Saitama to burn those 2 zeros to get to that dollar standpoint versus Shiba Inu burning 4 zeros to reach that coveted dollar standpoint. And mind you, Shiba Inu burned 4 zeros, burned 2 zeros, burned 2 zeros after the release of Shiba Swap. Guess what? Don't you think Saitama will burn 2 zeros as well when the bull market returns? I think so. Not only that, the Shiba Inu project has been listed on the majority of the tier 1 exchanges, if not all of them. Shiba Inu has been listed on Binance. Shiba Inu has been listed on Coinbase. Shiba Inu has been listed on Crypto.com. That is 3 of the major top tier 1 exchanges. And there are more. I'm just, keeping it leveled to 3. Saitama has not been listed on Binance. Saitama has not been listed on Coinbase. Saitama has not been listed on Crypto.com. And also Saitama has not been listed on Robinhood, which, mind you, Shiba Inu just got listed on. So if Saitama, not if, but when Saitama gets listed on one of those, you can bet your dollar we're going to kill at least 1 to 2 zeros instantly. Instantly. That's what's going to happen. And you know what? The reason why Saitama was not listed on any of those top tier 1 exchanges, centralized exchanges back when we were in V1 is because it did not have any utilities that were tangible. Yes, it was all smoke and mirrors. Not saying that it wasn't the truth that it was going to happen, because we see now that it has happened. What I'm saying is the utilities have now come out versus when we were on the V1 contract, the utilities were all in our imaginations because they did not exist at that point as tangible utilities. But guess what, folks? Now they are remaining to be tangible because they have been released. And so, as you can imagine, once we are in a bull market, which is probably what those centralized exchanges are waiting on, because, hey, they make money off of transactions. So they're making a business decision as well to time when to release new tokens or tokens that are popular like Saitama on their platform. And I can assure you, when the bull market comes back, more than likely, Saitama will see it being listed on those crypto exchanges. So what I wanted to do last here is something that I think is important for everybody to understand. It's called the numbers game. Let's say if you wanted to become a millionaire. Who wants to be a millionaire? Everybody wants to be a millionaire. $1 million for you, $1 million for you, $1 million for everyone. Let's do it. So what I like to do is compare Shiba Inu to Saitama. How much you would have to spend today to see $1 million when Shiba Inu drops 2 zeros compared to how much you would need to spend today to see Saitama make you a millionaire if it drops 2 zeros and go to $1. Let's do that math. So first and foremost, I'm looking at calculator.net. They have a tool called Big Number Calculator. This calculator is very useful because it allows you to perform very complex mathematical equations with ease versus using your computer native calculator. So that's why I'm using this. And I like to educate you guys. So that's why I told you where I got this calculator from. So first, let's start off with Shiba Inu. So we want to say how much money or how many tokens do we need to have $1 million if Shiba Inu were to drop 2 zeros from today's price point. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's say $1 million. So that's 1,000. That's $1 million. And let's see what the current price point of SHIB is. It's 4013. Let's just call it 4013 for the sake of ease with our conversation. So 4013. And it's simple math, folks. We're just going to divide that 1 million by the price point, and that's going to essentially tell you how many tokens you need to have today in order to see $1 million when it drops 2 zeros. So let's do the math. So essentially, you would need 76 billion tokens you would need today to see. Well, actually, let's do this. It's not this. It's going to be 2 less zeros. Here we go. We're going to see, you're going to need, let's do the math here. You're going to need 769 million tokens and some change, right? 769 million tokens in order to see $1 million at the price point of 2 zeros being dropped from the current price of 4013. Now, you may ask, how much would that cost you to obtain that amount of tokens? Let's do the math. So if we look at this, we're going to say that's going to serve as our X, and we're going to multiply that times the current price, which is 4013. If we multiply that, that means you would essentially need to spend about $10,000 to get the number of tokens you need to have in your wallet in order to recognize $1 million when Shiba Inu drops 2 zeros. Remember that number, $10,000, okay? Now, as we head over to the Saitama project here, the current price is 0.0021, okay? Now, so 0.0021. So we want $1 million, right? So that's 1,000, 2 zeros. There we go. So now that's $1 million, right? So in order to have the number of tokens you need in order to make $1 million when it drops 2 zeros and go to $1, we can just divide it by $1. Guys, this is simple math because it's a whole number. It's $1. You need 1 million tokens in order to see $1 million when Saitama reaches $1. Okay, so how much do you need to spend today in order to get 1 million tokens? It's simple. Let's just multiply 1 million tokens times the price. The current price is 0.2021. Let's call it 0.021. Currently, you would need to spend a total of $2,000. Let's just call it $2,000 for the sake of argument. $2,000. Now, it's your choice. You can spend $2,000 to obtain 1 million Saitama tokens to be a millionaire when Saitama kills 2 zeros, right? Or you can spend $10,000 on the other hand to get the required tokens you need for a Shiba Inu to drop 2 zeros. Which one would you rather spend? Would you rather spend $10,000 to become a millionaire, or would you rather spend $2,000 to become a millionaire? I would argue that I would rather spend a lot less to become a millionaire. It's spending less money for the same level or the same level of effort to reach the same end game, which is a million. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. You spend $10,000 for Shiba Inu just to become a millionaire, but you spend $2,000 for Saitama to become a millionaire. If you were willing to spend $10,000 with Sheeb to become a millionaire at this current price point, that's 5 times more expensive than what you would spend for Saitama to become a millionaire if it reached $1. That's 5 times the wealth if you spent $10,000 for Saitama, which essentially means that you would have been worth $5 million for the same amount of money you would have spent for Shiba Inu to become a millionaire if it dropped 2 zeros. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've made the case for you. I think I've made the case. Yes, there are some differences. Yes, Shiba Inu is on all of the major exchanges. Yes, Shiba Inu has a very solid community. Yes, Shiba Inu has over 1 million holders. Yes, that is true. But what you also need to realize is Saitama has implemented burning in their contract. So by the very nature, when people buy and sell Saitama, it is taking tokens out of the circulating supply, which by in its very nature will continue to raise the price of Saitama. Well, guess what? Shiba Inu is having a hard time because they never built that mechanism into their contract. So they're having to resort to other extensive measures to try to burn Shiba Inu. But natively, there is no burning of Shiba Inu. So I've laid the case for you guys. I do believe Saitama will really reach $1 within the next bull run. Who knows when that bull run is going to come? It may come next week. It may come a year. It may come 2 years. We never know. That's why you need to have patience. That's all we have for you guys today, folks. I want you to go ahead and like this video, comment below, because I think this is a very interesting topic that people will have different opinions on. I have my opinion I shared. I would love to hear your opinion. And remember to also subscribe to our channel with your notification bells on. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Crypto Stream. Remember to continue to invest with a purpose so that you can create generational wealth for you and your family. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We'll talk to you real soon.